Hi. First, these things are a little difficult for me, but I'm going to give it my best. It's also probably why I tee things up and let others take it home. That said, I created a production company. I had been mentored by some of the industry greats, from Craig Zaden, Footloose, TV, film, to Michael Ovitz, the founder of Creative Artists. Michael Ovitz, when he was mentoring me, he also put me in school where I come to know some pretty influential, important people. Let's see. Audie England married my buddy Peter Lenkoff. Peter is known for his Magnum, Reboot, MacGyver, and Hawaii Five-0. I had an idea to pitch another show based on Heckinger, who I had Peter follow on Twitter, based on a New York public defender. After which I said to Peter, I go, we have to do a show. He goes, well, I'm not really doing television anymore. I'm doing films, but I'll get it sold for you. That said, I said no, actually, even though a Law and Order type show would create generational wealth. I do know the people behind SVU, Law and Order, producers, directors. Even I went to school with Mariska Hargitay. I worked out with Christopher Maloney. In any case, so I said no, because you don't mix family with business. But then I'm also friends with people from the Me Too movement. Alyssa Milano, I did a TV show, Who's the Boss, with her. A spin-off, Living Dolls, with Halle Berry, who I also went to school with. So, and I became pretty friendly with Mira Sorvino. So after Peter offered to sell the project for me, put it into production, I was talking to Mira about another project we're doing with a look back to protect our youth. And then it got me thinking, it's like how she lost her career from the Harvey Weinstein scandal and all that other stuff. I'm also close with Roseanne Arquette, Annabella Sciorra, et cetera, et cetera. So after thinking about my saying no to Peter, I then said yes, and I accepted his support on selling the project because I could then create an all-female production company. Like I said, I'm known for teeing things up and then letting people more acclimated take them home, like Julianne Moore. Julie and I sat down and discussed Sandy Hook the very day after the shooting. I also gave her my business plan on how we had incorporated the power of heroes within film, television, and their local communities to best impact our kids through utilizing the power of heroes. The more they know, the better they understand, et cetera, et cetera. So now, that said, I am looking to you to be a AI startup, because we've already utilized AI technology as my information above suggests. I had written a film theme. It's already sold, by the way. Being mentored by Michael Ovitz brings me to Creative Artists, which I've been a part of since 1991. So I brought the idea after another mentor, Craig Zaden, who I mentioned, said we needed to do a film based on Sandy Hook. So after writing the film, it was about some family members, fictional family members. Obviously, we didn't want to exploit any of the family members or the kids slain. So I did that work, but I also came across with Mark Rowley, the star of The Last Kingdom, I believe it's at Netflix. With Mark on board, I couldn't just have him be just another parent or so. He had to be somebody pivotal. Not that a family member wouldn't be pivotal, but it got me thinking about being the first responder. Bill Kalani was a first responder who it's kind of modeled after, who I kind of helped support. I was active. We are the first organization to go to Newtown. I believe we're the third organization to combat gun violence First being the Brady campaign, second being Mayors Against Gun Violence, and then us at Sandy Hook Center. We had pledged their support and had funding to build within hours of the actual shooting from my my socializing in New York's Hamptons. Bill Ackman, who's on the cover of this month's New York Magazine, Bill and I discussed our nonprofit works and our being, well, I was a banker by trade while he's cooking up a steak of mine. So I want to be a startup AI tech because, one, it supports an all-female, production company. Like I said, when we tee things up, and I was thinking about how many of my friends lost their careers from the Me Too movement, I accepted Peter's offer to sell the project in order to front Mira Sorvino and Abel Sierra with an all-female production company. So that's why I'm reaching out. We've already worked on the technology. We already built a treatment around Mark Rowley being a first responder, a fireman, and the success is inevitable. Inevitable meaning with creative artists and the people I have previously mentioned, we can enlist these people by scale, and I'm not just assuming. I've already spoken to them firsthand. Meryl Streep and I we're talking hockey while we're watching Sir Paul McCartney rehearse in the Grammys one year. We reintroduced ourselves to her with a book where, well, we wrote a Sandy Hook book dealing with trauma, PTSD, et cetera, et cetera. We also made Meryl Streep a character. Why? Because we have the success. We just need the support and the mentorship. And I want to do this myself. We will give them the production company, but I will create the AI tech company that I'm searching for you with. So this is my first take. I'm not going to do a second one. We sell itself, so that's really not a question. But I'm very, very intrigued in my startups. And I'm taking the reins. Like we did with Sandy Hook. Prior to Sandy Hook, we supported like-minded organizations. But they weren't doing the things we were doing. Like, we first started out as an abuse awareness vehicle. In my back history, put me face to face with Celine Dion. Celine told me that she would love to work on our idea about child betterment, but her resolve is cystic fibrosis. She has a niece who's afflicted. And come to find, where you make the most good out of one's efforts is when you focus on one thing in particular. So while she is against child abuse, obviously, her premise was cystic fibrosis, which got us to think, well, why not look to the future health of our kids? Why not celebrate our kids by looking at the future health and well-being of our kids, which we then included cystic fibrosis. We then talked to Denise Jonas about juvenile diabetes because Nick is afflicted with juvenile diabetes he's now a grown-up, but you see my point. So we started Sandy Hook because there wasn't a gun reform organization in existence doing the things that we wanted to do by utilizing the power of celebrities within film. Well, utilizing the power of heroes within film, television, and the communities. We don't want to be a celebrity thing because heroes come in many forms, as previously mentioned, Bill Kalani from Sandy Hook. So, and there isn't an AI tech production company that's in existence, so we're fronting this and we're looking to you for support. So I hope this finds you well. I really appreciate any and all opportunity. Success is inevitable, and I'm actually quite hungry for this. The same concept crossed my paths 2 years ago when Alexis Ohanian was creating his 776. I'd also recently talk to Caitlin Holloway regarding this situation and this opportunity, because one, I am very loyal, and they did approach me before. We didn't get off the ground, but I still wanted to include them. So, yeah, I want to start up because this is first of many. And like I said, our success is inevitable, given the power of celebrity we do have. I went to school with Bernadette Roby. Bernie married Ray Leonard. I've been friends with the Leonards since 1992. I went to Sugar Ray Leonard's birthday party, 40th birthday party, where I saddled up with Denzel Washington over a few years. I reconnected with him too a couple years back in Manhattan. So, I mean, from there it's amazing going to school with Halle Berry. Our success is inevitable because we aren't self-serving. We do look for the betterment of our kids, and we're utilizing the power of celebrity heroes with film, television, and our local communities to do this. Thank you for your time. John Rinaldi. Thank you. Bye.